Hey guys, today we're going to start turning the corner a little bit and go from just solving more of these basic logarithms to applying some properties to logarithms. This is going to allow us to be able to solve problems that have more than one logarithm in our problem. And so we're just going to be focusing on like rewriting and being able to manipulate some logarithms today, but it's really not that intimidating. What we've got to remember is that a logarithm is an exponent, and so it follows some exponent rules. So for instance, with a product property, if we have two numbers in the same logarithm that are being multiplied together, what we do is we can split this up to be at addition. We'll go log of m plus log of n. So instead of them being multiplied together in the same log, we can expand it. That's what that's called. So an example of that here is number 1. Number 1, we have log base 4 of 5 times x. And what I can do is first we find what our values are. And I have two values for this first one. I have two values. I have a 5 and an x. And they are being multiplied together. Now, whenever we multiply these, I want you to remember that that means that we add these together, add our two logarithms together. So whenever I rewrite this, we have two values. So we need two logs. So we need two logs for this problem, okay? And my base is 4, okay? So we need two logs base 4. All right, now we're going to write this out here. So I'm going to write log base 4 of my first number, which is 5. You can put the parentheses or you can leave it off, plus log of my second number, log base 4 of my second number, which is x. All right, so that is it. We just expanded it. So instead of these being two multiplied together, we can write it as log of the first one plus log of the second one. Now, my second rule is a quotient property. So quotient, remember quotient is another word for division. So if we are dividing two numbers, like this one here where I go log of b of m divided by n, if we are dividing two numbers, then, you probably guessed it, we are going to write those two out and we are going to subtract. So let's try that here on number 2. So number 2, first off, we find my values. So my first value here is x and my second is 4. So I have two values, x and 4. That means that I'm going to need two logs base 2. So in this case, my base is 2. So we're going to write 2 log base 2. And since I am dividing, we are going to subtract. So remember, whenever we divide, we're going to subtract the top divided by the bottom. Okay? So we're going to subtract. Okay? It turns into subtract. So it's going to look like this. We're going to go log base 2 of my number on top. The order does matter whenever you're dividing. Log of the number on top, log base 2 of the number on top, which is x, minus log base 2 of the number on bottom, which is 4. Notice you can put parentheses or you can leave the parentheses off. It doesn't matter. But that is this expanded out. Okay? Make sure you pay attention today what your question is asking you to do. Some of them are going to ask you to expand. Some of them are going to ask you to compress. So pay attention to that. Next one, we're going to expand this guy. This is our final rule. Our final rule is our property power. And our property power is that if we have an exponent inside of my logarithm, I can take that exponent and I can bring it to the front of my logarithm. So in this case here, on number 3, I only have one value of x. I only have one value, and that is x. This 4 does not count as a value. It is not going to create a separate logarithm for itself. It is an exponent. So there's only one rule that we do with our exponents. Okay? With our exponents in here, we bring to the front. Okay? With our exponents, we're going to bring those to the front. So, bring our exponents to the front. So, in this case, let me fix this real quick. That I is pretty ugly. Okay, we're going to bring to the front. So that means we're going to take this 4 and we're going to move it to the front. And since I only have one value, I don't have to rearrange anything. So, we're just going to rewrite this as 4 natural log of x. And you can put it with parentheses or without parentheses.